Welcome to the American Tradition. My name is Jeremy Mack. I'm a pastor, I am a farmer, I'm a localist, and I am an essayist. Here is our weekly news roundup for the week, coming at you with our first story, the special interest story of the week. Dawn Wells, Marianne from Gilligan's Island, died this week from COVID complications. Those of us who are Gen Xers will always remember sitting on the floor before our snowy TV screens and watching Gilligan's Island reruns after school as we took care of ourselves while waiting on our parents to get home from work. Don't tell Tina Louise or Gilligan's Ginger, but I'm pretty sure we all thought Marianne was prettier. Goodbye, Dawn. You'll be missed. Next up, the Trust the Science segment of our show. Here we have Xenia Adult Demon Female. This is an internet influencer who writes a blog called Gender Analysis, and she has some interesting thoughts about children and pharmaceutical puberty blockers. She tweeted out a few weeks ago, I believe this text was originally on the early part of December 2nd, 2020, an inability to offer informed consent or understand the long-term consequences of puberty, is what she's speaking, long-term consequences of puberty, is actually an argument for putting every single cis and trans person on puberty blockers until they actually acquire the ability. All right, the ability to what? The ability to consent to bodily changes. She's referring to a recent court case from the UK where they've decided not to allow children under 16. Actually, they may be moving the age up even further, but not to allow children under 16 to make the decision to transition from one gender to another because they've been diagnosed with gender dysphoria. Now, you may say, why am I including an internet influencer in the Trust the Science section? Well, because her views of gender fluidity are not just confined to an internet influencer like herself. They have made their way fully into the scientific realm. Here we have the Scientific American. Not everyone nearly everyone in middle school biology learned that if you've got an XX chromosome, you're female. If you've got an XY, you are male. This tired oversimplification is great for teaching the importance of chromosomes, but betrays the true nature of biological sex. The popular belief that your sex arises from your chromosomal makeup is wrong, according to the Scientific American. The truth is, your biological sex isn't carved in stone, but a living system with the potential for change. Wow. So scientific. Here we have a video from what is called the World Economic Forum, and we're going to do our fatal conceit section for this week. Let's listen to what the World Economic Forum has to say about upskilling and reskilling labor forces around the world.
Asset of any economy or company is its human capital. Around the globe, companies are already experiencing a shortage in relevant skills for future roles and are investing in reskilling and upskilling their workforce. By 2025, organizations say they will train over 70% of their employees to ensure they can smoothly transition into the jobs of tomorrow. These include DevOps engineers, artificial intelligence specialists, digital marketing managers, talent acquisition specialists, and customer success specialists. It will take average between 2 weeks and 5 months for workers to pick up new skills, allowing them to move into these new roles.
All right, reskilling and upskilling labor for the brave new world of technological advancement. Now, if you tell a journalist on Twitter to learn to code because they got fired from their job at a paper, you can get kicked off of that platform. But as the billionaire tech oligarchs continue to push the world into artificial intelligence and robotics to increase their bottom lines and their company's importance in the new economy, the expectation that warehouse workers at Amazon will be reskilled or upskilled into software developers or artificial intelligence specialists is cruel and far-fetched. The question is, just where do we believe this brave new world of technological advancement is going? That's one of the questions the American tradition would like to ask more about, more of. And so we're actually going to be doing a video on this topic in the coming weeks. I'm not sure how many weeks out, but we're going to make a special video about the brave new world that's in front of us and the effects on labor. But speaking of fatal conceit, America has a little bit of fatal conceit running through its veins. As 2020, this is our bee sting of the week. 2020 rated worst year ever, provided you never lived at any other time in history, as it has a great picture of a woman sitting in her pajamas on the couch eating a sandwich next to a war-torn area of serfdom, probably somewhere in Europe during that time. So it's been a tough year, and certainly we are not poking fun at everybody. I know that many people have lost their jobs and that many people are having a difficult time, but 2020 rated the worst year ever, provided you never lived in any other time in history. Let's move on with the Electoral College vote coming up this week. Oh, skipped a story. Let's read this one. This is our In the News segment. Here's what we know about the new coronavirus variant forms in the US. So variant coronavirus strains first discovered in England. You might have heard that we suspended travel going into England, and we actually were retaining travelers from England in certain airports all over the world have not been able to travel until they were tested. That's because there was a new or a variant coronavirus strain that was first discovered in England, but it's now been found in Colorado, in California, and I also believe in Florida. I would prepare for more government overreach in the form of lockdowns and mask mandates if I were you. The thing about coronaviruses or COVID viruses, it is also the virus that causes the common cold, and common colds can't be cured. And the reason that they have never been cured or can't be cured is because they mutate into new forms constantly. All right, moving on again. More in the news. Nashville suspect's girlfriend told police last year that he was making bombs in his RV. So they investigated this, went to his house a couple of times, never really made contact with him, and let the story fall, or let the report fall through the cracks. And the end result is Second Avenue that you see pictured here. It's a story hits a little bit close to home. Not only is Nashville my original hometown, I still live near there. And little curious fact here. I know the area very well that the bomber lived in, and he attended the same high school that I did about 15 years before me. All right, here's where I wanted to get to. Got a little bit excited about the Electoral College vote. But the Electoral College vote is being counted this week. That's Wednesday, January the 6th. And there's potential for some fireworks there. We have 140 congressional Republicans are set to object to slates of electors from the swing states. Some of you are probably aware, most of you probably aware, that many of those swing states have themselves appointed alternate slates of electors. And so we've got 140 congressional Republicans slated to object to the results of the Electoral College. And now we even have a senator, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, the lone senator that plans to object currently. So we don't have any other senators who have publicly said they were going to object. There's a potential for a few. I'd say Rand Paul might be one of those that joins Hawley. But nevertheless, you have Josh Hawley of Missouri, the lone senator that plans to object currently, put a thumb in Mitch McConnell's eye on Thursday by skipping a conference call that really was scheduled just for him to explain why he intends to object to the Electoral College votes as they're unsealed by Mike Pence sometime on Wednesday. Now let's look at maybe why Josh Hawley and those congressional Republicans could intend to object. Trump ends President Obama's 12-year run as most admired man on Gallup. Wow. Donald Trump is Gallup's Man of the Year, ending President Obama's 12-year run, as I said. Smoking Joe Biden who only received 6% of the Gallup vote. So we have the man who lost the election as Gallup's Man of the Year, and the man who won the election got 3 times less votes in that Man of the Year vote than Donald Trump, who won it. Yet we have before us an election where a man who only got 6% of the vote for Gallup's Man of the Year supposedly set a record for presidential vote receipt. Now, I continue to find that very curious, as I'm sure many of you do as well. So this week looks like it's going to be a hot one, politically speaking, that is. And so keep your eye on the news. And if there's anything special that comes up, maybe we'll make a quick video about that. Look for January 6th. Look for some protests in Washington, D.C. Been reading a lot about what the I believe the attorney general there, or the district attorney there in Washington, D.C., and also some things that the mayor is thinking about doing as they continue to blame those old crazy Proud Boys for all the violence and seem to completely ignore the Antifa crowds and the Black Lives Matters crowds that seem to gather around and assault. Last time there was a protest in Washington, D.C., assault Trump voters on their way back to their car. And it looked to me, at least to this person who is just a passive observer, that the Proud Boys may have been protecting people who were being assaulted and not actually the cause of the trouble. Well, that's all for today, folks. Remember to like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us at the americantradition.org. You can, there's a little place you can slap your email in, and these things will come directly to your email. Check out the new political platform section on our site, where we offer policy areas that the U.S. needs to address to recover the American traditions and inheritances. Look for our Topic Tuesday video to drop this week as we begin a new series on why Marxism doesn't work and free market capitalism does work. All right, that's all for today. Lord bless you all. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.